This is a short instruction video on how to go about grading the color fundus images in the website that has been developed. So once you click on the link, you would reach a login page where you put in your username that we'll give to you, your username and your password. So I am putting in a username and password right now and I'm logging in. So the moment I log in, I reach my home page. Now on the home page to your right, you'll see all of this, which doesn't really concern the doctors, the grading doctors. This is more for the team of website developers. To your left, you will see image sets. So the way we're going about it is there are batches of approximately 25 images, 25 color fundus images that each set is going to be graded by 3 separate retina specialists. So that by the end of our grading sessions, for each fundus image, we have 3 gradings from 3 separate retina specialists. So it makes for a very rich data set to train the artificial intelligence software at the end of it. So if I were a retina specialist, I would start sequentially clicking on batch 0. So once I click on batch 0, once again, because this is not a commercial website, this is a website that's designed mainly for data gathering and for ease of use of the doctors as well as the technological team. So to your right, you will see things that don't really concern us. To your left, you will see images sequentially in any given set. So say if I click on any random image, I would recommend starting sequentially. So say if I click on the 11th image, you would see this sort of a thing. So here you see the color fundus image with a marking grid, and to your right you see certain standard questions. I would recommend starting with the questions. So the purpose of this project is to create an artificial intelligence software that can tell by looking at a color fundus image if this fundus image shows features of diabetic retinopathy, to be able to say what kind of diabetic retinopathy is, and to be able to say if it has clinically significant macular edema or CSME. We also want this artificial intelligence software to be able to recognize on what basis the doctor called this fundus image to have CSME or PDR or NPDR, and what grade and why. So the first question asks you, does this picture show features of diabetic retinopathy? You have 3 options: yes, no, picture unclear. So let's say you say yes. Now I am not a retina specialist and I might be completely wrong here, but this is just to sort of demonstrate all possibilities on the website. So then it asks you, if yes, is it? And let's say you say it is, you have 3 options: PDR, NPDR, intermediate, and you say it is NPDR. How will you grade this NPDR? Now let's say I say that this is moderate NPDR. Then it asks you, irrespective of PDR and NPDR, does this picture show clinically significant macular edema? And I say yes. Now I may be completely wrong once again. This is just to explore all possibilities. Then it asks you, if there is no DR and no CSME present in the image, then select the option no DR and no CSME, which is automatically selected from the list below. Otherwise, indicate the location of the abnormality by choosing one of the options in the list below. So here you click on the drop down box, and here are certain things that retina specialists would use to say what kind of DR, what grade of DR, and whether a color fundus image indicates CSME. So let's say I'm seeing exudates, which I have no idea if there are in this picture or not. So let's say I think that this part has exudates, and so this one has exudates, and I save it. Then I want to say that I see some cotton wool spots. So then maybe let's say that here is a cotton wool spot, and then I save it. And then I say that actually, I see some retinal hemorrhaging, but it is not that severe. So I say, okay, so this is some retinal hemorrhaging, and then I save it. So as you see that by the end of my data grading, I've sort of given all of this information, and I've also given coordinates. If you see here, these are coordinates which are formed by the bounding box that you make. So I would sincerely request all doctors to be as judicious in their use of the bounding box as possible, because a computer software, when it learns, like an artificial intelligence software, when it learns that okay, this is where this is, it learns like a child. So it's important not to make a box that's too big or a box that leaves out the area of interest that you're trying to mark. So then you save this and you go to the next image, right? So here you are at the next image. Now once again, does this picture show features of diabetic retinopathy? No. Irrespective of PDR, NPDR, does this picture show clinically significant macular edema? No. And then this is no DR and no CSME, default mark. You don't have to do anything. Now I have no idea if all of this that I said was correct for the image or not. This is just for demonstration purposes. So when you save, please ignore the message that just showed up, the annotation is invalid, and then you go to the next image, right? All right. So does this picture show features of diabetic retinopathy? Yes. If yes, is it NPDR, PDR? Let's say it's PDR. If PDR, it has new vessels on disc, new vessels elsewhere, both. So let's say I'm saying it has both, and I may be completely wrong. I have no idea. And it's not showing, it doesn't show CSME. So then now I've said that it has both. So I will mark new vessels on disc, maybe completely wrong. I've marked new vessels on disc, and then I save it, and then I mark new vessels elsewhere. So yes, I probably forgot to save the new vessels on disc. So here I want to mark new vessels on disc as well. So let's say I did this, I made the bounding box, and then I click save. It's important to click save, otherwise it won't get saved, as you just saw right now. So yes, save this. This annotation is invalid. Please ignore this message that comes up. It actually tells you that you've saved everything. And so I just clicked the save just to be safe. Alright, so that's how we grade. And this brings me to the end of the video. If you have any problems going about the website, in our message we've given you a WhatsApp number that you can also call, as well as an email address to give any feedback that you might have about the website. So once again, to reiterate, this is an artificial intelligence project that students from the Armed Forces Medical College, Pune, India are working with Professor Suyash Avate from IIT Bombay. He is a specialist in artificial intelligence software, and he is a professor at the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai. So thank you so much. If you've chosen to be a part of this project, this would serve as a unique learning experience for both medical as well as engineering students on really how artificial intelligence software runs and how it's developed on things such as color fundus images. Thank you so much.